How how was that for you?
It was really nice. Very good.
Yeah, I really felt this time that we went really deep and very expansive. It was really, really, very expansive.
Yeah, very good.
Mm. So thank you, Cheshta, for joining and coming for the review of the past 1 week. So how does it
Thank
feel?
you for the opportunity. It feels really good, and it feels good that I am able to do certain things which I never thought that I will be able to, and especially eating at a particular time. That was never what I've done ever. So, and I've always been a breakfast person. So I need to have breakfast, and my mind always used to work that my body needs. And at 8, so if I'm waking up at 7:30, by 9 o'clock I need to have the breakfast. That need going away, and it was like training the mind that it's not a need. It's okay if I don't have breakfast for another 2-3 hours. That feeling is amazing. So that
Mm,
that makes me feel good about myself that I can control something.
yeah. Mm,
That was the I think definitely the cleanse was very nice, and it feels really good after the cleanse. And feeling that internally, not only physically, like internally in terms of lot of areas that I've cleansed, but after that, this was one of the major things for me.
yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm able to do it. Thanks to you for that.
Yes, thank you for picking that up because this time, of course, you've been, um, so you, of course, you've done it earlier in a different version of it,
Yeah.
and this time it was a more integrated part of it. The beta launch was more integrated into that 2 week period. And so, how did you like if you were to look at the 2 week period moving into and the physical cleanse that we have? That's something that that is a VIP day, as I call it, because it's like really coming together. So that was the VIP day,
Yeah.
right? And so, how was it for you? Coming towards looking at the entire 2 week container that was there when you signed up for the beta version.
Okay. So when I signed up, I was looking forward for something, something more productive in the sense, something good that I do to myself, like justice to the program which I do to myself, and uh, and obviously to you as well because you are giving 2 weeks of your time. So I really want to give that justice and be disciplined. So the mindfulness exercises were very helpful, and I was able to journal down that why and the maximum times I realized that the starving, the cravings, because 1 week there was no diet. The
Mm,
diet thing was for the second week, but
afterwards.
when I was
Yeah.
journaling, I was noticing that it is lot of times it is when I'm getting upset, angry, or very anxious about something. That's when my cravings are also coming, and that I have never kind of noticed. I might have known subconsciously that's why it's coming up, but I never noticed or made an effort to journal it down. So that was one really good part during the 2 weeks. And the second week, this week was more disciplined in terms of food, obviously. So even if I was having any craving, I was not having any food because
Mm,
I knew that okay, my body doesn't need it. It's just my craving, and it has to go. So I used to just journal it down, and that
mm,
journaling really helped. And even especially the VIP day, after the VIP day, I was feeling. VIP day was okay. Like I didn't feel much. I just made sure that I didn't sleep during that day.
Mm,
Other than that, there was not much effort. The effort was on the day one, next day after VIP,
mm, mm,
where I was, my body, my headache came up, and I was having bad headache, and I started feeling why I have to do this, and my mind started playing, but it was like more of anxiousness and why am I doing this to myself? Why can't I eat what I want to eat? It was more like that, but it calmed down towards the night after I did what you told me, drinking tea and pressing the headache point, and it really went. It felt like it went away. I could
mm,
sleep peacefully,
mm,
and then it was more of okay, I have to follow it, and headache day is gone. And the best part was my assumption that my headache will come if I don't eat.
mm,
That has changed completely, because now
mm,
I know that I can go without eating for 16 to 18 hours and my body
mm,
can take it,
mm,
and there won't be any migraines because of that. Because whenever I visited doctors, it has mostly been like that, oh, you have to eat, you can't stay hungry,
mm,
you have to eat. The first thing after waking up in the morning is that you have to eat something. That's what
mm.
the doctors have suggested me. So
Yeah,
doing this was one big achievement for me, that okay, this misconception has, you know, come up in a
yeah,
very different form.
yeah. And I
So
just want to mention here to people who listen back later that one, this was a container, so this is not a lifestyle. If you want to move into a lifestyle which is different, it requires something else. But this was a container, and it was specifically, like I always say, each person is different. So please don't do it on your own just because you hear somebody say that have starting your first meal later. There was a container, there's a process to it, so please don't try it on your own unless you are under the supervision of somebody who knows, who understands your body, and knows what the diet plan is and what you're trying to do. So this is specific to the cleanse. I just want to clarify that so that people don't take it, oh, it's okay. And
yeah,
also the tea was it was a herbal tea, and it was specific to the to Cheshta. So I want to just clarify that in case somebody, because many times we feel, oh, it was normal tea or whatever, right? And but I want to just acknowledge that for you it was a massive mind shift, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
It was.
how was it for you to observe that, right? Because you were expecting that, oh, the cleanse is there, the day is there, and the VIP day was for you, it was actually a breeze. It was not really much a big deal at all, whereas
Yeah,
for somebody else it was a major big deal. So the physical cleanse was
yeah.
not such a big thing for you, but for you the mind part of it was
It was.
so how would you describe that transformation of your mind?
So I was very cranky. I would I would admit that I was very cranky during the especially day one and day two. I was, my mind was playing with me a lot, and like I said, I got headache, and again and again I was feeling, and then I was journaling, and I was very cranky, very upset, and I was questioning myself that why am I doing this? Again and again, this thing was coming, and then I was again and again I was telling, this is for me, this is for my betterment, this is something which I really need at this time. And I was journaling this again and again, and while journaling and consistently acknowledging whatever I'm feeling and journaling, that
Mm,
helped.
yeah,
Because I didn't want any thoughts to just go away. I didn't want to stop thinking about it. I wanted to acknowledge the thoughts that were coming and write about it, and that helped me from. And it was just, I would say, just those 2 days where I was very cranky. I had good mood swings, but it was the journaling part which helped a lot, again and again reminding myself. So it was again and again, telling my mind that no, 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 this is needed, this is needed.
Yeah, and I mean, it was really it was a huge leap and a huge step for you to acknowledge whatever thoughts were coming, right? Because it's not easy, and
Mm.
and to just let it flow and let it come and then to journal about it because it's it one it can they keep coming they can come very quickly, but also being able to acknowledge that was a huge step for you personally, uh,
Yeah,
you
it
know
was.
yeah. And so, do you think having the next 2 days as slow days, like especially day one, is supposed to be very completely restful, and even the day two, day three are supposed to be a little slow? Do you think that is helpful
Oh
for
yeah.
the process?
Yeah, yeah. I feel it's much needed. Day one, specifically day one, because because how my body took, felt that day one is really required just to be on your own, nobody bothering you. Even like not only just physically, you don't have to not only physically strain yourself, but also mentally or emotionally. So I was not speaking to many people
Yeah,
during that time, and that was helpful, and that's needed more than that.
yeah,
And day two and day three, I also took day two and day three very lightly and
mm,
slept off early and was eating. And at the same time, there were, during those days, because there was a major shift happening inside, I was feeling tired in the some intervals of the day.
yeah,
But and I listened to the body. I was like, okay, I can't do this. I let me not just strain myself and doing everything.
yeah.
So day one, yes, definitely. Day two, day three, like taking it slowly.
Yeah, yeah. So, it was like the way that you describe it, the day one is really the complete integration of, the what
Mhm.
you've done as a physical cleanse, and the mind is beginning to say, come up and say that, hey, do this and do that, and how it
Yeah,
is, and then emotionally how one is feeling, and it's really that integration, and I think that day is almost like a retreat, like a mystic's cave, that you're going into your own cave and just being
yeah,
soft and nurturing towards yourself.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the way that I look at it, that it's like that very special day that you give to yourself, that this is my day, and I don't have to answer any calls, I'm not answerable to anybody, this is just for me.
yeah,
And one of the when I started doing the cleanse myself, for me that preciousness was what was so amazing, because there were so many revelations that would come up, and so many other really really deep connections that would come up. So it was so amazing that I felt that and that was, I think, where it started, that I want people to feel that how precious you are to yourself. This is really deep self-care. So yeah, so that was where I felt that that's so required, especially for women. When you get so busy with the household work, of course it's for men and women, but anybody who ignores themselves mentally,
yeah.
physically, and emotionally, it is really for that. So if I were to ask you, what is that one word to describe the mind, body, spirit cleanse? What would that be?
So revolutionary for me.
Revolutionary. Mm,
Absolutely. I felt that.
mm,
I just felt that I can give all excuses I want whenever I want to eat, but at the end of the day, I know what it is now.
yeah, yeah. And how uh, how helpful was it to have the diet chart? Of course, in your case, we changed a little bit, but how helpful was it to have a diet chart for the 8 days, and then then later on it was customized even more for you?
I think it was helpful to an extent, yes, because I didn't have to think what to make, what to
Mm,
cook. It was just because already I was going through a lot of changes, like we talked, and it was easier. It was easier. Okay, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. So that way, diet chart was very helpful. The we changed it, yes, because I was just like feeling that I'm getting I can't eat it anymore, in the sense
Mm.
it was getting I was getting bored, or I don't know what. It was again my mind playing with me or whatever.
Yeah. It
But
was also
yes, I
specific to
used
your
to crave.
body, right? So your body
Yeah.
and your system and stuff. So it was very specific to that.
Yes, yes. So, but that I would say, yeah, the diet chart was helpful. Yeah. And
Mm.
like especially for the starting 3 days, like minus VIPT
Yeah.
-1 when
Yeah.
we are doing it from the evening.
Yeah.
So plus 3 days, I think it's very important and necessary and helpful also.
Mm. Yeah. And so, the entire journey that you've gone through in the past 2 weeks, and you're closing today, and so many times the mind will say, "Oh, tomorrow is like a freedom day," and all that. But if you were to just
Yeah.
look at this journey of the past 2 weeks and how the connection between your mind, your how you feel towards your body, and how you feel towards the emotions and the emotional part and this the soul part, um, and if you were to take and then just zoom out of the whole experience, who would you recommend it to? Who would you recommend this experience to?
I think to anybody who is willing to do it, like all my friends, or especially my husband, because I can really tell him that how it helped me, and he's seen it. You know, he's been there with me, and he's seen me physically as well, that how it has helped me. So especially to him, and to all the people out there who want to make some changes in their life in general. It's not just a lifestyle change, or a particular diet change or anything. It's just like who really want that mind body spirit cleanse, who are looking
Mm,
forward to it. So I feel that's the it's for everybody.
mm,
That's what I feel. Like if I have to tell my friends and everybody, I would happily go and recommend that, what, I did this and it helped me. So I would recommend you to do it.
mm. And so what other support would you like now from it going forward?
I think it would be more towards how to continue eating, especially eating, because there's a lot of times this emotional eating, stress
Mm,
eating,
yeah.
and I think that check or that support and what to eat and how to manage the emotional eating
Mm,
and the cravings. Because
yeah.
if I go to any store and I find a chips packet, I'm like, oh, I want to buy it, I want to buy it, but I can't. So
Mm,
how to manage? I will not buy it, or some days I might, but how
mm,
to manage those cravings and how to continue with this healthy diet? And like you said, yes, it does feel like that. Since today is the last day, tomorrow is like a gala day for me, and I want to eat something. That's what like my body and my mind is like. Okay, I'll
yeah,
eat this, I'll do that. But at the same time, I really know how much efforts I've put in, and I don't want that to get lost in just a day
yeah,
or a week. I
yeah,
want to continue it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a battle. One place I want to eat a lot of things, another place I really want to continue this healthy thing which I'm doing.
yeah, yeah. And I forgot to ask you earlier that, of course, for you it was the mind part of the mind body spirit cleanse that was the most intense. Was there also a physical change? Did you drop weight around this time?
Yeah, I dropped around 2 kgs.
Mm, okay.
So it was fluctuating, but it was like 2 kgs.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's around that.
And
So I was happy seeing that as well,
yeah.
because I've been consistent on the weight I was. So I
Mm,
was so happy when that number was going down, even by grams, 500 grams, 300 grams. I was like, oh
yeah,
wow, it's getting better. It's decreasing, and
yeah,
then it came down 2 kgs after 3 4 days only, and then it has been consistent.
yeah. Because somehow you were also able to break the plateau, right? Sometimes we get stuck at a certain level. We are unable to break that plateau of weight that continues.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
would you say that 2 weeks is enough, or was it too much, or do you think it is enough as a container, and then depending on whatever needs to be done, it can be extended. Like if somebody is specifically looking for something more, that then it's fine. But what did you feel? Were the 2 weeks enough for you to really go through the mind, body, and spirit cleanse? Really.
I feel it was a really good enough time, and the thing is that if I do diligently, it's a good enough time. But if I'm
Mm,
skipping, it might feel that I need it longer. So,
mm,
week one, I was not able to contribute much to all the activities.
mm,
I was doing it, but to all the activities. So, it felt like, oh, week one wise, it was a little less for me because I didn't do it,
mm,
you
mm,
know. But I think it's really sufficient time.
mm. Okay. Wonderful. I want to really commend you again about, because I've seen the journey, right? I've been the observer over the
Oh yes,
last 2 weeks, and it has been incredible, incredible how you've been able to shift your mind, and how you're able to reconnect with your body. You have been doing a lot of work, of course, with that, but you went even more deeper this time to connect how your body works and how your mind works then in response.
yeah,
And it's like the seesaw happening. So
yeah.
huge round of applause to you for doing that, and congratulations on closing it.
Thank you to you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to you for making me do it, helping me out doing it. So really, thanks to you
Yeah.
and being very patient with me.
Yeah.